John Mitchell lived in Austin, Texas, with his wife Emily and their only son, Dylan. He was a hardworking and honest man who built his construction company from the ground up. His wife Emily had always stood beside him through good times and bad. Their son Dylan had recently graduated from university and started working with his father, learning the business with dedication. After John's father passed away, his younger brother Kevin Mitchell moved in with them. Kevin had a very different personality. He believed in shortcuts, manipulation, and quick wins. John, being the elder brother, supported Kevin through college, gave him a job in his company, and even took him into his home after Kevin's wife left him. For a few years, everything seemed fine, but deep inside, Kevin was consumed by jealousy. He couldn't bear to see John with a successful business, a loving family, and a respected position in the community. That jealousy slowly turned into poison. One day, Kevin began tampering with the business accounts. Quietly, he transferred company funds into his personal account, bit by bit, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars. He did it so cleverly that John didn't suspect anything at first. Kevin then began manipulating Dylan. He told him lies, that John would never hand over the business to him, that he didn't trust him, and that everything would be left to Emily. Dylan, still young and unsure, began to grow distant from his father. He believed some of what Kevin told him and began doubting his father's intentions. Then came the blow. Kevin orchestrated a massive business deal that went terribly wrong, on purpose. The company lost a huge amount of money. Kevin then pointed fingers at John, painting him as irresponsible. Dylan believed it, and his relationship with his father crumbled further. They stopped talking like they used to. The house was filled with silence, suspicion, and heartbreak. Emily had been observing everything quietly. She could feel something was terribly wrong in her home. She didn't speak much, but she started her own silent investigation. She secretly accessed Kevin's laptop, took screenshots of emails, downloaded transaction records, and even hired a private investigator. In the meantime, Dylan was preparing for his wedding. His fiancée Sophie seemed a bit off to Emily, who couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Her suspicions turned out to be true. Sophie was in secret contact with Kevin. She was feeding him information from inside the house. Emily was devastated. Her family was breaking, her son was lost, and betrayal was coming from within. But instead of breaking down, she gathered every piece of evidence she could over several months. Emails, recordings, financial papers. She created a solid case. John, once a strong and respected man, had by now gone silent. He had lost his business, his son's trust, and his peace. He began isolating himself, a man slowly breaking from the inside. One night, Emily sat next to him and said, "It's time to bring out the truth." She planned a family dinner and invited Kevin, Sophie, Dylan, and a few close relatives. Kevin and Sophie came casually, unaware of what was about to unfold. During dinner, Emily quietly played the audio recordings on her phone. Kevin's voice, confessing the fraud, Sophie's conversations revealing the betrayal, and the private investigator's findings. All of it, loud and clear in front of everyone. John sat silently, staring at the two people who had destroyed his peace. Kevin tried to deny everything. Sophie panicked, but Emily countered every lie with hard proof. Dylan was in shock. His face turned pale. He realized how blind he had been, how deeply he had hurt the father who had done everything for him. John stood up, looked Kevin in the eye, and said only one thing: "Leave my house." Kevin was thrown out of the business. His shares were legally taken back. Emily filed a formal complaint against Sophie, and Dylan broke off the engagement on the spot. A year later, John and Dylan rebuilt the company from scratch. Their bond, once broken, was now stronger than ever. Emily continued to guide them with wisdom and grace. Kevin, on the other hand, lived in a shabby one-room apartment, alone and ruined. His life had fallen apart not because someone destroyed it, but because he destroyed it himself. And Sophie? She disappeared from their lives like a bad memory. That story became a quiet reminder in the town that sometimes the strongest revenge is not loud or violent, but calm, calculated, and built on truth. Because the real revenge is letting time, truth, and karma do their job,